Hello, people of the VC. It's Andy Cloudy Mulder back with a video for the first time in a few weeks. I've been on my holidays, and so I'm completely missed really what's happening on YouTube and the VC over the last few weeks. If I haven't replied to any of your comments or anything just yet, I'll get round to it, and you may see me commenting on a few of your videos that are a week or 2 weeks old, as I slowly play catch up over some of the great videos I've missed. But while I've been away, I've still been listening to music. A few weeks before I went on holiday, I started stockpiling some cheap CDs, all new things for me. Some classics in there that I've never heard of before that I thought I would give a go to on my breakaway. I'd say CDs, but I copy them and listen to them on digital versions now. Obviously, people have their opinions on things like MP3s, and they're much maligned amongst certainly the vinyl purists out there. I was never really happy. I used to rip every CD that I own, and I listen mostly to CDs when I'm on the move. And I was MP3 on my phone, but I was never really satisfied with the sound quality on that. And I'm not an audiophile or anything. It's probably just the quality of the app on the phone. But I thought I would give lossless media a bit of a go. So I bought myself a little media player, fairly entry level. It's got an X Duo X3. It has two SD card slots, so it can hold up to 256 gig, which is a massive amount really. I've probably got about 60 albums on here so far, and less than one of the cards is half full. But what I found is, whether it's just having a media player built for purely for audio, or whether it's listening to FLAC, which is a lossless version of the music, so pretty much CD audio quality, made a massive difference, along with some fairly decent Sennheiser headphones. I found the quality of that is amazing. So yeah, bought some CDs, ripped into my machine, and when I was on holiday I just stuck to the new stuff. So what was I listening to? So first one is this new wave of traditional heavy metal comp that's just come out, called British Steel, the rising force of British heavy metal, and does exactly what it says on the tin. A list of British new wave bands, a mixture of traditional heavy metal, a bit of power metal, some sort of folk metal, thrash, all from British bands. Now, some of these bands have deals and they've released an album. Some of these bands have released albums independently, demos independently, and some have pretty much, I couldn't find anything else about them other than what they've released on here. The bands are Amulet, very good; Aggressive Perfector, good; Eliminator, Dungeon, Dark Forest, Toledo Steel. I've seen them live actually; they're very, very good band. Vuil, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that one. Vuil, they're excellent. They're kind of like a speed metal. I've got picked up a 7-inch of theirs after this actually. No, that's it. That one. It's a split with a Japanese band called Abigail. I picked that up after hearing the song in here, because it was the only thing I could find from them, and it's an excellent band. Seven Sisters. They are superb. I've got their album, which I think came out this year. I don't think it was last year. This is a killer album. If you've not heard this, this is a self-titled album by Seven Sisters. Absolutely one of my favourite new wave of traditional heavy metal bands around at the moment. Insurgency, Neuron Spoiler, and Witch Hazel are the other bands. This has grown on me every time I listen to it. There's a few standout tracks on there, but literally every time I give it a spin, I'm appreciating the other things on there. This is available on vinyl, but is bloody expensive really, for considering I think it's a good way for these bands to showcase themselves. I guess it's because they're not all from the same label, but the vinyl release was about £18, and I wasn't going to pay that for a compilation. especially with a lot of bands I hadn't heard. But the CD's great, worth picking up if you see a copy of that. Next up, I have dipped my toe finally into the John Bush era of Anthrax. This is a double CD outing of Sound of White Noise and Stomp 442. Believe it or not, I'd never heard any of these tracks before. Unlike some people, I didn't avoid this era of Anthrax just because Joey Belladonna left and John Bush left. I've always liked John Bush and vocal style, and I have just never got round to listening to these. So glad I did. Sound of White Noise doesn't sound like Anthrax to me at all. It's good. I really like that album, but it doesn't sound like Anthrax. It's clearly John Bush on vocals. It sounds kind of a little bit more aggressive than Armored Saint, but it doesn't really stand up as an Anthrax album, although it stands up as a very good album in its own right. Stomp 442, instantly love that album. It's brilliant. Sounds more like Anthrax. John Bush, I think his style is a little bit more shouty, I guess, on it, for want of a better word. And it sounds more like an Anthrax album, but yeah, really enjoy it. I really wish I'd taken the time to invest in them a bit earlier. Next up, this was a bit of a blind buy. In fact, 2 or 3 of these CDs are blind buys in that I just listened to a snippet. The CD was under a $5, so I picked it up. This is Arkenstone. I can't remember where these guys are from. The album's called Dead Human Resource, and it's pretty good. It's got a mixture of clean and harsh vocals on it. It's like a thrashy power metal with almost like a death metal style vocals, and I don't really like death metal vocals at all, but it kind of works on here. In fact, what lets this CD down is when the clean vocals kick in. It doesn't really suit the music to me. Check out the song Forever More on here. That was the one that turned me onto it. I think they're a one and done band. This is from 2008. There's a CD and the cover's on the floor. Another new one, band I never heard of before. This is Fear My Thoughts with Volcanus. Digipack. Now this is more of a thrash band with kind of growly, rasping vocals, bordering on black metal, I guess, at times. Didn't like all the tracks on this, but I listened to it a couple of times. It's not bad. Standout song for me was one called Culture of Fear, and one called Stamp of Credence is actually an example of the song's style on here that I don't like. But yeah, Fear My Thoughts, Volcanus. New thrash bands I'm kind of hit and miss on. Some I like, some I don't. I guess it depends on the mood I am when I first hear them. Game Over, Italian thrash band. This is their debut. I think this is a re-release rather than an original. It says 2015. I think this originally came out 2012. They've got about 3 albums out. I'm gonna buy more. This is my kind of thrash music. I love this. It's kind of high energy. There's even songs about thrash. Another Dose of Thrash. Yeah, great, brilliant. There's some Motorhead cover of Iron Fist on here as well. If you like thrash, and there's nothing particularly original about this, but this, as I say, is my kind of thrash. Check out Game Over. Probably named after that Nuclear Assault album. In fact, given the font as well. But yeah, For Humanity. Machine Head is a band I've heard talked about a lot, but I've never really listened to any of their stuff. I picked up this. This is the Blackening. Really enjoyed it. Kind of thrashy. I think this is an enhanced CD. Just listened to the main album. Enjoyed it. Didn't really know where to start with Machine Head. Only picked this one up because of the price. If you recommend where I maybe go to next after this one, considering I do like this one, then let me know in the comments below. Another one, finally bit the bullet on, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Opinions on this one. This is like the Digipack edition, fairly bog standard, I guess. Opinions divided on this one. I like it. It's nothing particularly special to me. I think there's a fair amount of filler on here. Some of the songs are really, really good. I mean, I like Hardwired, Moth into a Flame. I don't really know the names of the ones on side 2 because I stopped looking at the cover when I was listening to that one. But there are also a few, yeah, there's a few skips on here. I found Atlas Rise is a weird song. Parts of that song, it's like they've stolen Iron Maiden riffs and put them in there. And other than that, the song's pretty good, but that just puts me right off the song. It's like, why Metallica trying to sound like Iron Maiden? They're not the Metallica of old. People have said that this is the best album since the Black Album. I didn't particularly care for the Black Album either, and I've not really listened to any of their stuff since And Justice for All. So I don't really know how it compares with their other stuff, but I like it. I will listen to it again occasionally, but I'm not completely sold on it. Red Fang. This is more of a stoner band, a little bit sort of Queen of the Stone Agey at times as well. This is a really good album. This is their debut album from 2000 and blah. 2000 and I don't know. Well, there's the thing. Their first one anyway. They're pretty good. I also picked up another one of theirs in this fancy 3D effect digipack. I think this is their second or third album. It's called Whales and Leeches and comes in this fancy digipack. This is not, to me, this doesn't appeal to me as much as their first album did. I've only given it, I listened to it a bit today and I ended up switching it off and listening to that Game Over album again. I won't give up on it. I'll give it another go. But it's a cool cover. And last couple, believe it or not, I had never heard Seasons of the Abyss, In the Abyss, sorry, by Slayer. So this is their 1990 release. Absolutely love it. South of Heaven is my favorite Slayer album of the ones I've heard. There's big gaps in my Slayer knowledge, but after a couple of spins, this is absolutely killer stuff. Love it. Going to be playing that a lot over the next few weeks. And I also picked up another Slayer as well, God Hates Us All. Always strikes me that I'm presuming the guy who writes the lyrics is, or I thought he was like a staunch atheist. It always strikes me that when people don't believe, that they end up writing about the thing they don't believe in anyway. So don't quite get that, but musically, again, love it. I'm going to have to invest a little bit more time in 21st Century Slayer, finally coming around to them. Yeah, so that was it. That was what I listened to on my summer holidays. I was actually in Texas, near Houston, visiting some of my wife's family, and most of the time was family time, but I did manage to get a little bit of digging time. And if you want to see what I picked up, check out the next video. It'll be out in a few days. I'm going to give them a bit of a spin over the next couple of days, and probably at the weekend I'll show you what I picked up in Houston. Okay, thanks for watching. Good to be back. I'm going to go and watch some videos. Bye now.